This is One-on-One. Victoria Bailey is the Executive Director of the Theatre Development Fund. Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's nice to be here.
The Victoria, I'm saying the Victoria Development Fund. The Theatre Development Fund is, by the way, we know what your work is because we see it out there on the street.
Outside.
The most famous is?
The TKTS booth is what we're known for first and foremost, I think, is we run the half-price ticket booth in Duffy Square. And also there are satellite booths at South Street Seaport and Metrotech in Brooklyn. So
awesome. That's
the first thing everybody knows.
But you're bigger than that.
We're a lot bigger than that. We are an organization that is committed to building audiences for the theater, and we really work on two tracks. The first track is to make it possible for people to go to the theater who know they want to go, but there's a barrier. So whether it's an economic barrier, which is what the booth is about, we also have a membership program for people who live, primarily for people who live in the tri-state area, and people who qualify become TDF members, and then they're eligible to purchase tickets at an even deeper discount. And then we provide services for people with physical disabilities.
Such as?
So on our accessibility project, we do sign interpreted and open caption performances. We were the first folks to do open caption performances on Broadway. We do audio described performances for the visually impaired. We have orchestra seats for folks with mobility problems. And then most recently, an initiative we started about a year and a half ago is our Autism Theater Initiative, where we work with producers to present shows, sensory-friendly shows for children on the spectrum and their families.
Can you give us we're showing pictures as you're talking about it, but explain how that would work.
So the way that would work is we work with a producer. So we started with Lion King, and we have experts on kids on the spectrum, and they go in, they watch the show, they say, you know, we need to tweak this a little, maybe this sound cue. There are a lot of lighting issues. We never bring the house all the way to black when we've got an autism-friendly performance, because transitions can be a challenge. So variety of tweaks in the show, and then we basically buy the house, and then we sell the house at a discounted price, and as well as for folks who can't afford tickets at all, we have a certain number of tickets that are discounted. What's really special about it, and the essence of it, is it's not just for the kids on the spectrum, it's for the kids and their families.
What's that like for them?
Because if it's a gift, because especially going to the theater, it's really hard to take a kid on the spectrum to a performance that isn't a special performance, because you may be worried that your child is going to make noise, or they're going to get up, or they're going to have an attention issue, and people all around you, there's a kind of, don't do that.
So you don't go at all?
So you don't go at all.
And you're denied that opportunity?
You're denied that opportunity. You're denied that opportunity as a family. And what's really moving is it's the child, it's their siblings, it's their parents, and they get a family outing.
What a fabulous
that a lot of
thing.
us take for granted. Yeah, it's really...
What a wonderful thing.
It's really...
So you get to see those families.
We get to see those
the children with their parents experiencing these extraordinary performances, but done in a way that is sensitive and empathetic and aware of the needs of the children who are on the autism spectrum.
On the spectrum, and also done in a way where everyone in the theater is in the same boat. So, if your kid maybe is having trouble and needs to get up, there's no one in the theater who doesn't understand that. And so it's a completely judgment-free environment, and of course that's what the theater should be for everybody.
How'd you get into this whole thing?
It started because...
it was 1968 it started?
TDF?
Yeah.
TDF started in 1968.
And when did you come into this whole thing?
I came into this whole thing about 12 years ago. I worked for many years here in New York at the Manhattan Theater Club, and I was the general manager there, and it was time to try something new. And when this came along, I thought, the thing that's so interesting about working for a service organization is we're working for the audience. And I went from being on the producing side. I really believe, TDF believes, that theater and dance are the birthright of every New Yorker, and that we have to figure out ways to get people to the theater. We work with about 7,500 New York City high school and middle school students every year in the public school system, not just the theater.
What do you mean work with them?
We have a program called Stage Doors, where the students working with their teacher and a teaching artist have 4 classroom sessions ahead of time. Is that part of what we're looking at
right there?
That would be Open Doors, which is our mentoring program. We're a group of 8. We have 23 groups this year. 8 students from 23 different schools go to the theater 6 times a year with a mentor who's a performing arts professional. social. They go to the theater, they come back, they have pizza, they talk about it, they go back to their school, they write in their journals. And the idea is that we are training people to be long-term, sustainable audience members. Theater is something you have to be exposed to.
Why do you do it at a young age? Why is it so important that they get exposed?
Because
at such a young age?
You want to get. I hate using. I don't like using the language of addiction, but you want to get people in the habit of going to the theater, and you want to expose them.
Hey, listen, as habits go,
as
it's
habits
a pretty
go,
darn
it's
good
not
one.
a bad one, but you want to get them used to going to the theater. You want them to understand that it's a possibility for them, and I think, more and more. We have to figure out how to take that experience of sitting in the theater and integrate it with a digital culture, right? You can't say we're not moving into a digital culture. We are, but you have to figure out there's still a place for that experience of being in the theater. You may want to tweet about it the minute you're done. There's a whole lot of ways that two things can go together, but it's really important from an early age. We know that kids going to the theater or kids making theater, participating in the arts, really are great predicators of what's going forward.
Victoria Bailey is the executive director of a wonderful organization doing really important things for people who need this kind of help, the Theater Development Fund, because going to the theater and having that access is our birthright.
It's our birthright.
I love how you said that.
It's our birthright.
And just like public television should be our birthright,
That's right.
but we have to support it.
Thank you so much.
Great job.
Thanks.
One on One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System. This special edition of One on One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Hackensack University Health Network, County College of Morris, PSE&G, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, Wells Fargo, Celgene Corporation, and by Kessler Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.